This episode we took the cruiser to the beautiful historic town of Hill End. Hill End is just under 4 hours northwest of Sydney. We went down the bridle track to a campsite along the Toorong River to set up camp. Whilst here, we hit some tracks, learned a lot, and broke a couple of things along the way. We were mostly here for a family Easter gathering, but had heaps of fun, as you'll see in the videos coming up. So the intention was initially to get away early in the morning, so we had a full day. We had some dramas with the wiring from the last owner. We couldn't get the fridge working, so as you can see here, we were driving into the sunset, but managed to get to the tracks before it got too dark so that we could set. So first things first, before we do anything, as soon as we pulled up at the bridle track, we let a bit of air out of the tyres, just so we're not popping tyres on rocks on the way in and make it a bit more comfortable. So the next morning, we were straight into it. We just went to drive a small hill here past some mine shafts that get you to some good firewood to be collected. So the new suspension was absolutely worth it. Made this whole climb way more comfortable. But as you saw in the first clip, we got caught up on the tree root here where the Hilux is struggling now. Just a bit of an awkward shape. It had been dug out from underneath, which managed to pull the sway bar off. So I'm running no rear sway bar for the time being. But we went and packed some rocks in it and had another crack at it the next day, and this is how we went. So as you can see on that run, we did a lot better job of it that time, and you could really see the softer suspension and bigger tyres doing their job. So after that, we spent the rest of the afternoon just cruising around and checking a few places out. So I'm just going to put a few videos here of the driving we did. Enjoy. We've got new merch. Haven't done one of these before. Really high quality. They're long sleeves so you can wear them to the track. If you want to grab one, I'll put a link in the description. Super limited number. Back to the video. So after a good few hours of messing around, we did a couple of these little muddy trails and then took the car for a couple of hot laps just to give it a wash before we pulled up camp for the night. our first day done and dusted, went back to camp, got some dinner going, got a fire going, had a couple of drinks, then had a couple more drinks, and settled in for the night. With a couple of sore heads the next morning, it was a bit of a slow start. We spent the rest of our time just fishing, having a look around and enjoying ourselves. So all in all, I think it was a pretty successful trip. I did end up losing a power steering line. It was an old metal line that had corroded, but I took it to Pertec, got a new one made up for about $200, so that was an easy enough fix. So next episode, I'll be back in the garage. I've got a few more pieces I want to do to the Landcruiser after this trip, specifically some recovery gear so we can go places a little bit harder, go a little bit further. And I'm also going to narrow down the colours I'm going to paint it, because I'm going to start on that pretty soon. So keep an eye out. I'll be back in the next probably 2 weeks, and see you then.